So today we're going to be playing quarter cash. Quarter cash is the evolution of half cash, and the way that we're going to be doing this is by having another player. So we're playing a half cash game, but we're playing this in co-op. And so the way that the money is distributed in co-op is by, oh yeah, I guess I forgot to do the splits. So we're going to have to use the left side only, but that's completely fine. And so the way that the cash gets split is 50-50, right? So, but if we're playing half cash, then it means that we're only getting a quarter of the cash. And so if we just hoard the cash with the other player and we're not giving it to ourselves, that means that we're technically playing quarter cash. So that's how we're going to be doing this. It does all the maths for you. You don't have to do anything. There are no mods or anything included, so that's kind of nice, and we don't have to worry about that. But let's see how difficult this thing is, quarter cash. Let's see. I chose a beginner map just because I'm not exactly sure how difficult it's going to be in general. I kind of have experience obviously with half cash, which is one of the most annoying game modes that you can have in BTD6. So I expect quarter cash to be, I guess, a level of more annoying than half cash is. So talking about half cash, that means that we usually buy these value towers, right? So we're talking about towers like the Overdrive, the Morglave's Boomerang, the ODS Ace, stuff like that. But I guess today we're gonna have to be going for ultra value towers. Now ultra value towers are basically towers that do everything, or towers that can gain value in other ways, and I have an idea for this. But first off, let's start with the sub. So the sub, I guess this thing is gonna cost us about $200 because of that monkey knowledge point that there is for the military monkeys. The first one costs less, and this sub is going to get submerged later on. So this is going to be cheap camo detection. It's just going to be like a 300, and I hope to leave it like that, about $1,000. I think that's a good bargain, at least I guess, as opposed to buying a full village. Okay, so let me find the spawn for this druid. This is going to be one of those towers that I plan on keeping for the entire game. So let's have it, I guess let's have him here, and then we should have a space available on the left side and above it for at least one more druid, right? And so the idea behind these druids is that, and I think I mentioned it before, but the thing with the druids is that they gain value in different ways, because the money is going to be super tight in this one. And so the idea behind the druids is that there's this bottom path upgrade which is called Heart of Vengeance. Now what this thing does is whenever you lose lives, they gain attack speed. So it's kind of a, you sacrifice lives but then you gain something in return, and this is, I think, a very good way to tackle this quarter cash challenge. I kind of forgot about Geraldo, so let's place Geraldo here on the top left. Geraldo is not going to do a lot of damage by himself. He's just going to be there, but we need his items. There goes the camo. Do I buy the camo? We have $200. I think I should, and I think this is how much is this gonna last, up until around 34, so it's not gonna be there for the camos on 36 and 37, which are the ones that I want to leak. So I think this is fine. Yeah, and just as round 28 is approaching in these lead balloons, I'm kind of starting to realize that this money generation is kind of depressing, because we do not have any lead popping power, and I really don't want to buy the hard thorns for this guy, but we're gonna have to, because there's no way we buy lead for, how much is it, $300? It's, how much is it gonna, $375? Yeah, there's no way I have to buy this. Okay, so we have $500. That's amazing, but let's go for the bottom path. I mean, the Thorn Swarm and the middle path is more appealing, but it's just like an early and a mid game tower, and we're gonna need to think about the late game as well. So this Heart of Vengeance is the better upgrade, even though it's not gonna do that much in terms of damage for these rounds. It's just the better one overall for the late game, I think. Okay, so round 34, and it's kind of starting to get interesting because we have these zebras appearing, and basically, even though these early game rounds, they were kind of easy, we're defending with basically the same towers 20 rounds later, and we haven't bought any significant upgrades. So this should be, I don't know what we do next. I mean, I guess I should get another druid. Let's see how we do versus these rainbows. Trying to get the Heart of Vengeance on this guy as well before round 36, because we're gonna have the camos and I want to leak those. It's gonna be super close. $260, we need $325. Yeah, okay, that's good. So it's 1% attack speed for each life that we lose, but it caps out at 100 and they start with 10%. So basically what it means is that the optimal amount of lives to lose is 90 lives, because they start with 10% already. Okay, but the thing is, we lost way too many lives. Let me just get the Thorn Swarm, I guess, for this round. This is gonna be the one that's gonna go, I guess this is gonna be the main damage one, right? Or do we save some money? I guess, no, you know what I should do? I should give this guy camo detection because we lost way too many lives. So we have 53 left. And if you leak all of these white balloons, it's more than 53, so. Wait, are we even fine on this one? Oh, that's perfect. That's 10 lives. And I'm kind of thinking, what do I want to do for this mod? Because we have a depressing amount of money. We have $500, so I guess I'm probably going to get one more druid just for the damage. And I don't know, we're going to see what we do. Probably going to have to use the glue. I'm going to pickle this guy on the left, I think. $174, by the way. Let's see if we can beat this Moab. Please don't leak. Yes, nice, very good. Okay, let's see if this guy's gonna be able to beat the camels. I think I should give the sharpening stone. Wait, I didn't give him the sharpening stone for around 40? I could swear I did. I guess we're going for Druid of Wrath on the guy on the left. Yeah, I mean, we have $700. Let's just buy it. Yeah, let's just buy it. Let's just check in how much money this guy has. The other account has 7.1k. So that's the amount of money that we would have had if we were playing half cash, but we haven't given ourselves anything. So that's a lot of money, honestly. Like 7.1k is what? It's like all the druids that we need plus like 2 populists. Now let's get the populist now on this guy on the bottom. So this guy on the left is gonna go bananas. That's our boy. That's the one that we're gonna buff. This one has a bunch of ceramics. I guess we have no count potions left. Okay, I was gonna give camel detection to the guy on the bottom, but we have no count pots left. So I guess I should upgrade the sub to intel and have it do +2 damage per shot, I guess. Oh my god. Is this guy gonna defend even? I should probably pickle him, right? Yeah, let's pickle this guy. Let's just be safe about it. And that is $700 that we have, so we can finally upgrade the sub to submergent support, so we don't have to worry about camos anymore. But let's see how we do. So some interesting rounds coming up, like 54, 55, a bunch of ceramics, and then 57 is going to be interesting as well. So let's see what happens. I should probably be using a glue for these guys. Are they leaking? Oh no, they're gone. Oh no. Here's what happens, and this is kind of an issue with recording in co-op, by the way, because when you hit a continue, first off, there's no quitting to main menu, right, because it's 2 of you. So you have to be hitting continue each time you want to continue, but you also get money for it. And so I guess we had about $500, I think it was, when we started this round, or how much was it? Like, I think it was about 500 bucks. So let me just buy and sell a couple of these snipers. How much is that? 335? Yeah, I'm fine with that. Let's play it like that. That was not enough damage. That was just straight up not enough damage. So I'm kind of thinking, I mean, we could do the sharpening stone on this guy. The thing that we did last time was I was a little bit late on the glue, and apparently this guy didn't have the sharpening stone on him. So let's just see how much of a difference this makes. Yeah, I mean, they're not even popping the first Moab, which is pretty bad. Actually, wait a minute. They're not even popping a Moab. You know what happened? Wait a minute. Do you guys know what happened there? When we hit a continue, we got the money back, but we also got the lives back. And what happens when you get the lives back is all of the druid attack speed is gone, and that's why it was even worse than the first time that we tried it, because the druids now have no attack speed. We got our lives back. Okay, so we're gonna need a new plan. I think I'm gonna sell this druid in the middle, this base druid, and I'm probably gonna get Jerry's Fire. Yeah, let's get rid of him. Let's get Jerry's Fire on one of these guys, and I guess we have $137, so let's buy the glue, place it like, I don't know, like here. $27 left over. Yeah, that's it. Look at Jerry's Fire go though. Look at this thing. It's basically, well, it's not defending by itself because these druids are still kind of doing some damage. I mean, we do have the populists and they're kind of upgraded, but yeah, Jerry's Fire is doing a lot of work. Let me get the Heart of Thunder. I want to get this upgrade because of 63 mainly, but also we need a little bit of AoE. Okay, so round 60 incoming, the first BFB, and we have a spectacular $2,000. So the amount of towers that we can buy with this thing is pretty limited, and I also don't want to be buying these things like the Blade Trap. I mean, it's gonna deal with it, but it's like $700, and I don't want to spend 700 bucks. It's like 5 rounds to get that amount of money. So I think I'm gonna go. I'm kind of thinking about what tower do I want to get that's gonna be useful later on, and I'm looking at the Wall of Fire, and then maybe we can get it to a Dragon's Breath. Yeah, I think I should be getting a Wall of Fire, so let's do it. This is gonna, it's not gonna do anything versus the Moabs, but I think we're fine. Yeah, we're fine versus the Moabs, but let's just have them. Oh no, that's not when I want to have the Wall of Fire. Let's have it at the bottom. 35 lives. I mean, I guess we survived. We lived through that one, so it's fine. Okay, so round 63, here's what I want to do. I'm going to actually sell both of the sub and this guy for a Dragon's Breath wizard, because, yeah, I mean, the 013 druid is... the 013 druid was just not gonna do it, guys. So let's get the Dragon's Breath for this round, and let's see what they can do. I should be using a glue. Let's just drop a glue immediately. That's... oh, no way. Okay, let's be ready with the glues this time, so let's place them there. Actually, you know what? Let's see if we can beat this one first. We're leaking. Okay, so we got this one somehow. Wave number 2, let's place the glue a little bit faster this time. Let's actually have it right here. Okay, this is a problem because we don't have a third glue. We're not going to be the third wave. I should probably be maelstroming this. Yeah, let's just go for the maelstrom, yeah. Oh no, I missed. I missed the entire wave. We're still fine though. Yeah, we are. Good. This is way too stressful, guys. Let's get an Alchemist 300. We're gonna keep it as 300. I guess because it's just one tower, I can just keep giving this guy the Geraldo Camo Potion. Let's give it the Jerry's Fire, and this is basically all the money that we have. Okay, guys, so we're rich again. We have $2,000. So let me sell this Dart Monkey and let me buy. Well, I need to sell it for the next tower because of that Monkey Knowledge, which makes things cheaper. So the next primary tower is going to be cheaper. And I'm going to get a recursive cluster. Well, hopefully, going to get a 203 first. And then, well, actually, I'm going to get a 103 first, it looks like. And the goal is to get the recursive cluster. That should be attainable, I think. Well, I mean, it's a pretty expensive upgrade. It's 2.8k, but I think we're going to be able to do it. And I'm thinking about these rounds like 75, 76, 78, which have a bunch of balloons on them. And that's why I want to get this one specifically. And I couldn't think of any other tower that's just this cheap and does so much. Like, I just don't know what that tower might be. I mean, I guess we can help out with like an ice tower or something like that, but there was this nerf that happened in the last update where if your ice tower is not like tier 3, it just has a 50% freeze time on all ceramics. So I'm not sure about that one anymore. I'm looking to get the cluster and hopefully we can get it without selling anything, because all these towers are... Wait, let me just... Wait, there are no more camo potions. Okay, so let's use the glue there. This is gonna be fine. It's only the bomb shooter. Let me just give him Jerry's Fire. Yeah, okay, so I really don't want to be doing this. I mean, this thing is $540, and because that thing happened, it just set us back so much for the cluster. I mean, this thing is... Quarter cash is not a joke, guys. I'm telling you. No, we have this. So we have the first one. I should be dropping glue for the second one. Let me just do that. Yeah, oh no, these mobs aren't even popping. Do we even have this one? I mean, let's hope the cluster does something. Oh, we do. Actually, we do get it. Okay, we do get it. Okay, 76, a very important round. We are super close to the... Do we even have 76? Yeah, that's Regrow Farm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to have to do this. I don't want to do it, guys. It's $700 and this is... They actually beat it? Wait a minute. They actually beat the round. And I just spent a Maelstrom on a Moab. Come on, that was the cluster money. Okay, now I'm actually disappointed that my towers won. They actually popped the balloon. I'm actually sad because that happened, because I spent $700 and that was the cluster money. Okay, so I guess the cluster isn't happening for 78. Although, looking at this one, I mean, these guys are popping exactly how they should not be popping, because that was a huge... Are we fine? That was a huge wave of Moabs. That's like 5 more incoming. Yeah, we should leak here. Yeah, absolutely. So I got rid of the extra cash, and I think that, I mean, what do we do about this one? Again, like, we're just not gonna have the money for the cluster if we keep this up, and I'm pretty sure I have to do this now for this round. So let's see if the second Jerry's Fire is gonna do. Like, at this point we have no solution for 78. We might be able to beat the first wave just because it's not a camo one, and I'm not sure about the second one because we have the wizard, but it's attacking with fire and there's a bunch of purple balloons, and I'm not sure we're gonna be able to deal with all the purple balloons. Plus we're gonna need a camo potion for it. So I mean, we do have the camo potion in stock, but I don't know. Okay, 78, first ceramic wave. Let's see how we do versus this one. Should I be gluing this, or do I just leave it be? See what they can do. I mean, we're super close to the cluster. It's 2.4k. Let me get ready with the Blade Maelstrom, but yeah, it's not necessary. Okay, so we're super close to the cluster, guys. We might be able to get this, actually. Here come the purples, and we're not dealing with the purples. Let me just do this. Let me just give the pickles to this guy, and I'm pretty sure I should be using the genie because we are not beating this thing. Let me give camo to the genie. Let's not forget that one, and let's see how we do. Yeah, the genie is going to be able to clear out this one. And I guess the genie was kind of necessary. I didn't exactly want to use the genie, but I guess the genie was necessary, right? Because we didn't get the cluster, and not getting the cluster meant that we are just not beating this one as well. So yeah, the genie is going to help out a lot, and then we can use the next one for round 80, and that should be about it, actually. Yeah, it's 2.1k, so we do have the money for a second genie, so let me just place it. $167, let me use the glue, and that is about it. So $57 off quarter cash, and we finally beat it. I mean, that was a game and a half, honestly. That was I guess I was a little bit wrong with these druids at the start. I thought they were gonna be a very good choice, but it turns out that they weren't actually. Let me just see how much money the other guy had. Let me see. It's 29,478, but this includes continuous, and we hit continue a couple of times, but in general it's like, what, $25,000 that we should have had but we didn't get? Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of druids. But that's it. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. So let's try the Bezos challenge, where I thought about this challenge. It sounded really fun, where we shift the focus from popping balloons to trying to make as much money as possible up to a certain round. So the goal that I set was to get $10 million by round 100, which should be quite the challenge actually. So the name obviously, well, Jeff Bezos for one, but there's a tower called the Bez, which is the bottom pad darting gunner. So I thought, let's farm for 99 rounds and then we beat round 100 with the Bez, and that's the Bezos challenge in a way. So the rules go like this. We're going to be playing on medium standard, obviously up to round 100, and everyone is allowed to pick their towers, their heroes, whatever they want to. So no restrictions on the towers, no restrictions on the tower amount or anything like that. We're going to keep all of the sliders at 100%. We're going to enable monkey knowledge, powers, and selling, although this is going to be done in a challenge actually, so powers are not going to be useful anyways. So, you know, having all the monkeys, having everything available, let's jump into the Bezos challenge. Let's see if we can farm $10 million by around 100. Okay, so while we're waiting for the money to come through, let me just explain these rules a little bit better to you guys. So the goal is to get $10 million after you're done farming. So you're allowed to do basically anything to get your hands on money. All farming methods are allowed, and we are actually going to need everything if we want to do this. So you can pick your own map, you can pick your hero and farm for 99 rounds. When round 99 ends, sell everything and beat round 100 with a Bez, an alchemist, and a 230 village. The remaining cash is going to be your score. Now this adds a little bit of tension at the end because this setup costs actually about $100,000. So let's say we're just above the 10 million threshold. This will put us back down and basically not count the challenges completed. So I think that should add a little bit of fun to the challenge. Now, as I'm walking into this, I do not have a clear plan for it. I'm treating it as the party balloon actually, so I'm gonna do my usual strategy. This is gonna take a while, so I'm gonna do my usual strategy. I'm going to farm as much as I can, as hard as I can, and then, you know, if we fall short, then we're gonna gradually improve everything. So as usual, going for the Minneapolis, the one on the right is gonna become the bank first. It's gonna be a 230 bank, and the one on the left is gonna go to 202. So watch the sell price on this thing actually. So it's 1900, and the banana salvage costs $200, but when we buy it, the sell price goes to 2300. So that's about $420 I think extra that we got from a $200 upgrade. That's very important to get that one, because the one on the left is gonna get sold because this thing costs 3.8k and this thing sells for 2.3, so I guess we can kind of sell it at probably when these guys pop, or actually we're gonna need to wait for the next round now that I think about it. You kind of want to try hard on these things, so let me just sell it with $30 off, but we're gonna be able, yeah, exactly, so we're gonna be able to buy it as soon as round 18 starts. So this bank we're gonna collect now, right? Yeah, there we go. Benji helping out a little bit. That is I got the Monkey Town upgrade, and how much money do we need? We need 8k because it's 3k for the Monkey City and then 5k for the Minneapolis, actually the Monkeyopolis upgrade. So I guess this thing sells for 5.5k, so we should be able to sell it now, right? So let's collect, let's sell. 8,500, yeah, there we go. So there goes the Monkeyopolis. $270 per round, or round 30. Can we get this a little bit earlier? Yeah, probably, if we were able to defend, like, let's say, yeah, maybe we can get it like a few rounds earlier. But let me get the balloon trap now, and I think this is where the harder part of the challenge starts, because this is the part where we have to start planning where we spend our money on, and that's the most important thing. It's where do you spend your money to get the biggest return. Let me just, do I care about these camos? How much do I care? Like enhanced eyesight, I think that's how much I care about these camos. We have the mana shield and Benji's gonna restore life, so I'm not exactly worried about that one. But as I was saying, the most important part of this entire challenge is gonna come down to what are you spending your money on to get the best returns possible, right? So for example, I bought the balloon trap, and I'm not sure if that was, like, I'm not saying it's a bad decision, right? But you kind of have to think if that is the best thing that you want. This farm doesn't fit. Let me get the bigger radius actually. Let me just get the farm now. And that's basically the core of this challenge. It's where are you spending your money on, and are you being able to, I guess defending is not a problem, but we have to kind of make the best choice when it comes to farming to get the most returns and to get the setup going as soon as possible, because at a certain point we're going to cap out. So we are not going to be able to place any farms. We're going to have everything on the field, and it's just going to be, you know, the maintenance work. So it's going to be overclocking things and pressing the abilities and, you know, making sure that we collect everything, and that's about it. So let me just get the rubber to gold. And again, this is one of those is choices. So the way that I'm looking at this is I'm planning on keeping these farms. So usually in a boss run, for example, you would sell all of these marketplaces for whatever defense that you need. But in this run, I actually don't want to sell the marketplaces. I'm going to make them into central markets. And I'm going to keep the Minneapolis for a very long time. Well, actually, I plan to keep the Minneapolis for a very long time. And then I'm going to get the favorite trades farming going. So actually the trade empire farming going. So going to place all the boats. Going to have, I guess, the 10 central markets. And then we're going to go into the 5th tier, the top at farming. And eventually we're going to cap out with buying a bunch of overclocks. And we are going to buy snipers in these empty spaces. So let's see if we can... Let's see if we can even handle this mob, because we are not doing any damage. It's like a dark monkey and like a bomb path engineer. So I think we should be... It's got the Trojan on it, so it's not gonna release anything, but I just need this thing to pop. So let's just... Yeah, there we go. Okay, so $19,000. Next up is the Trade Empire, and then after the Trade Empire, we're gonna start placing a bunch of boats. Obviously, we're gonna get the 20 favorite trades, not 20 favorite trades, but the 20 merchantmen, and then we're going to juggle the upgrades. So upgrade a couple of merchantmen to favorite trades, and then gonna upgrade the central market and stuff like that. And I really wish I placed Ben on somewhere else, basically, because I think that, yeah, we needed to have a village fit in there, because that could have been a Monkey City village, which is going to improve the amount of money that these guys make by a lot. I hope that doesn't come to bite us. That's all I'm gonna say. I can't fit one there at the top. I mean, I can fit one more, but it's like, am I not gonna reach 20? Can I not fit 2 boats in there? Yeah, I don't think we're getting the last one. So that's gonna be a Monkey City village. All those guys to the top right corner are gonna be the central markets, and that completes our boat farming part of the challenge, I guess. So we're not gonna have to worry about boats. They're gonna be all maxed out. Although I would have loved to have a village next to Ben, because these guys are making a bunch of money. And they even did like an update, I think it was update 36 or 37, where they gave the Monkey City an extra 5% cash generation. So I think that would have been really nice. I think it works with these guys. That would have been really nice, but that is a little bit of a missed opportunity when I think about this. Yeah, let me get this thing to hot shots. I think this is gonna be able to deal with everything. Yeah. So they all have camo detection. It's just the lead balloons, right? So let's get the BRF. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7 BRFs. And let's wait for the next overclock, and then we can fit one more farm in there. So it's gonna be 1, 2. I think we can fit at least like 3 more farms. So let me actually overclock this thing and see how many more we can fit. So that's gonna be 1 there, 1 above it. That's 3, and it reaches to the top. Okay, so that's 4 extra farms. This is gonna be an 11 farm Monkeypolis. I think that's good. And we should sell the Minneapolis now. It's about time. So let's do that. Let's sell this guy. And that is going to be 55,000 that we need, so right about now. Yes, right on the money, 55. And $200 left, so I love this. I love it when things work out like this, when it's perfect and the money's spent and everything is going fine. Although I'm not sure about the order of purchase and anything like that, but you know, that's gonna be for later, I guess. Okay, so a couple of new things. I bought the Wall Street at the bottom. I bought a couple of BRFs, and let me just collect these crates, and then let's go back to, I bought 3 overclocks. 1 is for the Banana Central, and then just like 2 for these BRFs. So let's get these guys at the top to 420, and then what else are we doing? I mean, we can fit a couple of BRS, but I'm kind of thinking about the next step. So we want to have snipers after that. And I feel like I can't fit a farm there. It's starting to get a little overwhelming, because it's this pressure that I can fit a farm here. Yeah, let's go. That's amazing, actually. I'm really happy with the left part, actually. That it turned out nice. We can fit 2 more farms on the right side, I think, below the central markets, and then maybe we can find a spot somewhere below maybe the Balloon Trap NG or something like that in that area. Although I think I tried that one. So let's just get this thing going. BRF1, that's gonna be the second one. Maybe at the top left. Yeah, there we go. That is not in range of the village, but I'll take it. It's better than just not having it in the first place. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that we're done with the farms. I don't know how many overclocks I'm getting, but it's gonna be double digits, so I'm looking at like 15 maybe. How many BRFs do we have? About 15, I think, so that should be fine. And all these overclocks is gonna be, you know, as soon as the cooldown is up, you just go get it on a BRF and just get the money going. It's super efficient to get an overclock for a BRF. Even if it's one BRF, it's very efficient, especially for the long term, right? Although the cash situation is not looking that hot, so we're supposed to be getting 10 million and we have like 100k at this point, and we're not even done with the setup. Okay guys, I think it's time. I think it's time we start placing some snipers. I don't want to be having too many overclocks. I think that we need to start placing a few snipers, and these snipers are amazing because they do make money. And you know, it's like, this is going to be the case with any map, I guess, where you're just not going to be able to perfectly fill the entire space with farms. There are going to be some spots between them, and you can just place a bunch of snipers and they're going to make money. I can't believe I forgot the 5th-tier farm, guys. I do not have the Millipath one. I do not have the Monkeynomics. Okay, let me buy a couple more snipers. Let me get that one. I think that mistake is gonna cost me like a couple $100,000, because that thing is an ability with that makes $10,000, plus it makes a bunch of money on its own. So yeah, that's a little bit of a mistake on my end. But let's sell one of these BRFs, I guess, and let's just get it here. It's gonna be a 052 because it collects itself, and let me deposit and kind of try to redeem myself. Maybe one more spot, maybe one more sniper. There we go. That's one more. Maybe one more. No, that's about it. Let's just get the overclock on these things, and this is going to be around 77, so we're not even at a million, and we're going to need 10 million. So yeah, hopefully this thing works out. But I think the setup is about done. I'm going to give a few shots with these snipers. I guess I'm going to try and place a couple more snipers. If that doesn't succeed, then it's fine, because that is going to probably be the entire setup, and I'm just gonna keep overclocking these guys, and we're gonna see what happens. So I'm gonna be back in a few rounds, actually. Alright, so round 85, just checking in with you guys. We are at about 2.7. It's gonna become $2.8 million right now. You know, it's a little bit annoying to have to do all these things to just keep overclocking and just paying attention to these abilities. I'm playing at normal speed mostly just so I don't miss an ability or something like that. So I'm not sure how this is gonna go, but 2.8 million is not looking too hot, I'm gonna be honest. So I'm gonna see you guys in a couple of rounds to see how much money we have. So round 90, we're at 3.8. It's gonna become soon $4 million, I'm pretty sure, after this round is done. And we are, I mean, it's not looking that hot as I mentioned in the previous check-in, but we might have a shot at getting super close to the $10 million mark. So I'm also noticing that we're not dealing with DDTs very well, so I guess the next checkup is gonna be round 95. And we're going to see what we do about that one, because we're going to need to defend a bunch of DDTs there. Round 95, we're at $5 million, doing somewhat well. We can make a lot of money by selling this thing, but I'm kind of worried about these DDTs, because round 90 didn't go as well. Round 93 didn't go well either, and round 95 is not looking good. I mean, I found a spot for one more sniper. That was a 420 sniper that I have, but these guys are absolutely not dealing with the DDTs, and I'm kind of thinking about what do we want to do next. Okay, so here's the thing. We're not defending those DDTs, which means that we're going to need a new tower, and I'm thinking about what is among the cheaper ways for us to guarantee that we're going to beat this thing. So I'm going to sell this thing. I came up with the Glaive Lord. This is going to be a 502 Glaive Lord. Let me just move these guys so that they can decamo the DDTs and the Glaive Lord can hit a little bit earlier. And let me just, you know, keep doing this thing. So I hope all of these, we got a bunch of overclocks ready, but let's just keep overclocking these BRFs. And let me just, I see the abilities are coming off cooldown as well. So let's just keep using these guys. I have the Ultra Boost. I'm using that one on the Banana Central. And then just keep getting these overclocks into the BRFs and see how we're doing with the DDTs. We're defending those, so the Glaive Lord was a good choice at least in dealing with this round, and hopefully this is going to carry us towards the end. So 98, this thing is the next to the last round, so this one and 99 are the two remaining rounds in which we're allowed to farm. And then on 99 we're going to hit stop and we're going to sell everything and then beat round 100 with a Bez. With a Bez, a 230 village, so we make sure it hits the DDTs, and then a 420 alchemist. That should be about $100,000. Haven't actually done the math on that one, but we just crossed the $6 million mark, which is, it's an amazing number. Let me just turn off All-Star for a second. It's an amazing number. We are ways off of our goal, but we do have a bunch of towers to sell, and this entire setup is pretty expensive, I'm gonna be honest. So let's just wait out these DDTs. If we fine versus them, actually, it's just the Glaive Lord. It's the same setup, so hopefully they pop. I mean, come on, don't do this to me. Okay, there we go, we got it. So round 99, $6.2 million. And let's start selling. So these boats are going to be the last ones to go because they increase the sellback value of everything. So just selling basically everything except the boats. Okay, that's the $7 million mark. That's 7.4. That's almost 7.5 million. Are we gonna cross 8 million from all these guys? It's the Trade Empire, a bunch of these favorite trades. So there we go, $8 million. That's fine. That is, I'm actually happy with the result for our first run. What is it gonna be? It's gonna be $8.1 million. But this is not it, because we need to defend versus round 100. We need to beat round 100, and then whatever is remaining after beating round 100 is gonna be our score. So let's get the Bezos challenge done. Let's get the Bez. It's just gonna be a 025 Darting Gunner. We're gonna set it to target independent. This is like the last thing. Like, you're done with everything, and this is like, let's just end this thing. It's a 230 village and then a 420 alchemist. So let's just end the challenge with the Bezos challenge with the Bez. And let's see how much money we're gonna have. So it's gonna be 8 point something million dollars. But let's just wait for this thing to pop, and we're gonna have the official number. And there it is. So a total of $8.35 million generated. So we are at about, I don't know, like 1.6 million in terms of money needed to beat the challenge and generate cash, but that's not how we calculate it. It's $8,074,077. So we're about 20% off of our goal, but it was a fun challenge. I really enjoyed doing this thing, and obviously a lot of optimizations needed, and I am going to be revisiting this thing for sure. But if you guys want to try this, I would really love to see how, guys, you're going to be able to beat this challenge. Hopefully you can improve on my strategy, and maybe I can learn something else as well. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. This is an elite Dreadbloom boss event, but there's a catch. We're playing on Blast. Yep, that's right. We're gonna try and beat the elite Dreadbloom on Blast, but there's a little bit of a catch happening. So you guys are probably aware by now about the portable lake bug, which allows you to basically stack a bunch of portable lakes, go out of bounds, and eventually that's where all the BTD6 physics stops existing, and you can stack a bunch of towers on top of each other. So when I first saw this bug, I was like, how can I make a cool video out of this? And I realized that it's probably not gonna be fun if I do it in a normal game, and also you can kind of make as much money as you want in boss events, just by regular farming, honestly. And so that's when I remembered that Blance exists. And this is the shortest map in BT6 by far. It was a meme, it was put in the game as a meme, and I was like, wait a minute, we can actually do this. We can actually try and beat elite bosses using the portable lake bug. Now, just to be clear, a lot of these elite bosses have already been beaten on Blance legitimately. Like, for example, I know that Vortex has already been beaten. In fact, Vortex is probably the easiest one to beat. You can also beat Phase, I think I saw someone posted. Yeah, I think that's about it. Maybe people have been in some other bosses which I'm not aware of, so that's why I chose Dreadbloom. Dreadbloom requires a lot of different tower categories to beat, and I feel like this is gonna be a fun one as well. So first off, here's the plan, here's the towers that I have. I just have an NG, which is probably not gonna go into a bloom trap. I do want to make money off of the lead blooms by using the lead to gold. It also one-shots them, and then all of these farms are gonna get upgraded to 203, and honestly, I think I'm just gonna stop at like 5, and that's probably gonna be it for the tier 1. So for the first tier, you guys know how Dreadbloom's immunities go. You have the primary immunity, which is first, and then once you get rid of it, there's no primary immunity up until the end. So here's what I want to do. I want to get at least 2 of these guys. I think I'm just gonna get 2 of these spike storms. I want to use both spike storms, and then after they're done, I'm gonna sell them, and I'm gonna go for the tag zone. So let me speed everything up. And okay, that's around 38 to just send this. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sell one of these guys, and I'm gonna buy the second spike storm. I think two is gonna be fine. Yeah, there we go. So 39 just ended, and I'm gonna sell these guys, all of them. And here's the plan. We're gonna go like this. Oh, we actually have the money for everything. Okay, so let's play. Here he comes. He actually appears in the middle of the map. This is insane. You don't even have like the full distance of this map. So let's use both abilities. Oh my god, what just happened? Wait a minute. He is immune to support, which means that 3 skulls popped. Okay, let me just go fast with this thing. 420. Let me just get a 420. Oh my god, we need to be faster than this. Let's just do the same thing, but be really, really fast. So I use both abilities. And now I think the ice is a priority to get, just so we deal at them. And then a 420 alchemist. And do we have everything? I think we do. How can we help? Maybe like an overdrive at the back? Oh my god, 18 lives are still leaking. Let's go again. Let's use both abilities, and I'm just gonna sell before even anything happened. 420 ice, and then the alchemist we have, and then I'm gonna get an overdrive. I think I bought it. Yes. Is this gonna be enough? Please tell me this is enough. I see a bunch of rock balloons. Do you guys see them? But they are getting popped. And I think that this is enough. Okay, so let me just buy a bunch of... Nope, never mind. That's fine. That's fine. We got it. Alright, so here we go. Just a 041 ice, the way that you normally do it. And I actually prepared myself with 25. So we know that these... So I have to count these guys. So it's exactly the exact number that we need that I have. So just keep stacking these guys. And let's get to 25 portable lakes and 2 more remaining. And let's see, this is gonna be the moment of the truth, guys, if this works. So we have all the portable lakes, and there's gonna be I don't want to buy it because we actually do need the money now. So let's just not mess this thing up. Let's buy Dart and let's see if this thing works. Yes, it does. Oh my god, we are on a roll. Let's get this thing going. Okay, so how do you want to start this? First off, let me get 1 jungle's bounty and let me stack as many farms as possible. So let's start. That's 2. That's the only amount that we can afford. So let's start with 2, and I feel like we're gonna need the banana farmer. Just so I only have 1 left. That's perfect. Okay, so the first ability is ready. I've been stacking farms. So I'm gonna buy 1 more and let's see how much money we make out of 1. That is 1.3k. That is amazing, actually. That's a lot of money that we're making. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy a couple more druids, and I think I'm going to stop because the druids are very expensive, and I feel like I have a little bit more control because the farms are just like $1,000 each. And we do have to start being mindful about the fact that the boss is coming out in a second. So, okay, wow. The amount of money that we're making is really crazy. Look at this thing. I'm going to use 1 ability. 5.2k per ability. Oh my god, that's a lot of money. Is getting the Dark Paragon a little bit too optimistic, or is it just me? I think that we are making a lot of money, but here's what I want to do, because we're gonna need the cooldowns as well. So I'm gonna start with the Carpet of the Spikes. Actually, maybe even we're gonna need more than 1 because it's a tier 2 elite one. Why did I get the Carpet of Spikes if we're just going for Spike Storm? That's okay, that's fine. That was a lot of money spent for nothing, but you know what? We can afford it. Okay, so let's buy a couple of Spike Storms now. I think, when do we want to stop? Like maybe at, I really have no gauge on how much one of these guys did because they just destroyed the tier 1. So a bunch of Spike Storms, and then I'm going to sell all these Spike Storms, and then I'm going to buy the Dark Paragon if everything goes according to plan. So here it comes. I'm just spamming these guys. They only need to deal with, oh my god, they only needed to deal with the primary immunity, but they dealt with everything. So I have to be really fast with this thing. Hope I didn't sell something that I wasn't supposed to. And we're leaking lives. Okay, so I'm gonna do the Paragon. I'm gonna use the freeze ability. I'm gonna try and make a bunch of money. And how is this looking? I think the Dart is gonna defeat it, right? I mean, it's kind of, oh my god, that was a Dark Paragon versus a tier 2. It kind of started going out. Am I kind of crazy about that thing? I know this is a lot of damage, but come on, this is how the other tier is gonna look like? That's my question. So we have to keep farming with this thing. We are gonna need a lot of these Paragons, and I do want to get all of the Paragons. Honestly, like, I want to buy as many Paragons as possible. So yeah, let's just keep buying these druids and keep buying these farms. And I also think that a really smart thing to do now is to actually just do this, an Energizer sub, which is going to reduce these cooldowns by a lot. And even though it doesn't do anything, it's just going to be so beneficial in the long term, right? So, oh my god, the lag is already starting a little bit, but these guys are making a ridiculous amount of money. Look at them go. Okay, so just a quick update for you guys. I just placed a bunch of druids and a bunch of farms. We're at 1.2 million, and I'm going to use 1 ability just to kind of see how much money one of these guys makes. And I think it's, oh my god, it's $31,000. That's insane. That's $31,000 per ability. I don't think I'm going to be buying any more druids. Honestly, I think that the number of druids that we have and the number of farms that we have is actually a little bit more than we need. Okay, so this is going to be the first Paragon. I'm going for the Engine Paragon because if you guys know how this thing works, it overclocks itself every round, and so you kind of want to buy it earlier so that it reaches its potential basically in the later round. So I'm going to buy it now. All these Paragons are going to be with the max investment possible. So yeah, let's just get the Engine Paragon. It's going to be a 56, and all of them are going to be that degree, by the way. And let's just get this thing going. Okay, I'm just checking in with you guys, but I do want to tell you about what I want to do for the tier 3. So let's buy the sub Paragon now with as much money as possible. And so here's the thing that I want to do. This thing actually has its ability, as you guys know, on a very long cooldown. So I wanted to buy it a little bit earlier. As soon as the boss appears, that we can time the ability so that it hits the boss as it's coming out, or at least about in that vicinity. So that's why I wanted to buy this guy a little bit earlier. And I think I'm just gonna buy I'm just gonna get the Energizer again for the Druid cooldowns because we need it. And my question is, do these buffs stack? Which they probably shouldn't, right? I don't think they do. So you know what? I'm just gonna unsubmerge this guy, and I'm just gonna keep using the Druid ability. Alright, so this is round 79. The tier 3 is about to come out, and we need to get ready for this thing. I also want to buy the Dark Paragon just to kind of get it out of the way. It's actually kind of nice versus Dread Balloon because it does extra damage versus ceramics. And the shield the Dread Balloon has is actually a ceramic layer. So let's just buy this thing, and I think the 3 Paragons are going to be more than enough in there, which are all degree 56. So let me just keep using this thing. Oh my god, these Dark projectiles they're way too big, right? Let's just reduce them for a second. Let's just go at like 60% because this is going to get messy when we buy every single Paragons, right? Okay, so I'm just going to use the sub ability immediately, and I'm hoping for the best. So that's only the NG Paragon attacking, the dart does not do anything, and then the sub doesn't attack because it, oh, look at that, the missiles are ongoing, and how much damage is this going to be? Have they even hit? No, they're hitting now, but it's immune to military. No. Is the DPS going to do anything? I think this is the sub DPS. Oh my god, they're just melting it. That's a lot of damage. That is just way too much damage, but they destroyed it as expected. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen to the tier 4 and eventually the tier 5. That thing's got like tens of millions of HP, so it's gonna be really fun when it confronts all of these paragons. Are they gonna be enough? They are, right? I just take a look at the money, guys. We're at $20 million, which you don't need this much money. I'm still clicking the ability for some reason. I think that the amount of money that we have is actually more than enough that we need for all paragons maxed out, even the VTSG. So I should probably stop using the ability, but you know what, I kind of realized that doing this makes me want to do the legitimate run actually that much more, because I do think that Dreadbloom might be one of the ones that are possible to actually beat on this map. But it's round 98, so let's start thinking about the next year. I do want to get the Wizard Paragon next, so let's go like this. Where do we want to have him? I think like here towards the, I think this is going to be a good spot, so let's just put as much money as possible. It's going to be 2.3 million and 3.1 in total, so let's do it. And that is going to be Paragon number 4, which is again a degree 56. And tier 4, guys, 2 tiers left, this one and the tier 5, which is probably going to be the most interesting one, but I do want to buy the Buccaneer Paragon and just want to get like one more tower out for the DPS. So let's get this one as well. Just spend as much money as possible. It's going to be 2.2 million in total, and it's again at 56, which as usual, that's how these things go. And do we even need these druids? I think we just sell them after this tier. Okay, so let's see how we can do this. I'm going to use the sub ability again. Oh my god, and it's 2.6 million, but it's actually a lot more when you incorporate the shield. So how are we doing the damage? Oh, actually, look at this. The damage is not exactly going that fast as I would expect, right? I mean, they are kind of making a lot of progress. I think that was that huge damage burst. I think that was the nuke from the from the sub. So now it's immune to military. These guys don't do anything. Do we have any military paragons there? I don't think so. I think it's only these two, and we still don't have the ace. I mean, he is making his way up there, right? Oh my god, this is like with 5 paragons, degree 56, and he's like, I don't want to say halfway out, but it's almost halfway out, and it's a tier 4. This is gonna get interesting with the tier 5. Okay, so I think that we're kind of done with the druids. I think I'm just gonna sell them just so we oh, that fixed the lag instantly. Okay, so let's just sell a bunch of these guys. If I sell this thing, yeah, the portable ace, you're gonna disappear as well. So we have a bunch of money. I don't think that money is gonna be an issue anymore. It's just gonna be whether or not these guys do the damage, and that's about it. So here's how I want to do this thing. Alright, so I think I bought all of the necessary planes. I hope I didn't mess anything up. Let me buy the Goliath. This is gonna be a $3.7 million total investment, and it's gonna be a degree 61, which is a little bit better than 56, and we're absolutely gonna take it. Let me just set the ability. This is gonna be like you don't have to keep setting this ability, so I think that this is just gonna be fine, this path. And we're missing 2 more things. So first off, it's gonna be the Boomer Paragon. I don't want to rebuy all these other ones, by the way. I'm just gonna keep them as 56, but I do want to try and get as high degrees possible on the remaining ones. And that's gonna be all the boomers. So let me upgrade this thing. 1.1 million total, and that's gonna be a degree 61 again. And that is only the Ninja Paragon left and the VTSG. So I'm going to see you guys in a second for the other ones. This is the last Paragon. This is the Ninja. Let me just upgrade this thing. It's about 2.1 million in total. We're going to have 8 million left. And this is again going to be a degree 61. And we have every single Paragon by round 112. And they're pretty high degree, I'm going to be honest. I hope I didn't mess anything up. Let me just turn off auto just in case. I think that everything is fine. So let's just see if this is gonna, I think it's gonna transform, and then yes, there we go. So let's get the range, and then let's just start buying up all these other things. So homeland, and then I'm gonna get a tech bot. So this tech bot overclocks the VTSG by itself, so we don't have to worry about it. And I'm actually gonna have a tech bot for the homeland ability as well. And here it is, finally. So I'm going to hook up the last tech bot to the homeland ability. And I really do hope that all of Paragons in the game plus a fully buffed VTSG is going to be able to take down Dreadbloom en blanc. So let's see how this thing goes. Here it comes. It says 12.5 million, but it's actually in the tens of millions. And what else are we doing with these guys? So let me just use this thing. Let me use the Ace ability, which is actually going to do damage because we're still on the primary immunity. And then maybe we want to save, I think I want to save the Wizard ability for the military immunity, because the militaries are probably our strongest Paragons. So let me use this. I'm going to use the Metamorphosis, by the way, because it increases the output by a lot. And while we're on the military immunity, I think that we might want to, oh, actually, you know what? I'm missing a lot of NG damage because I haven't played the Sentry still. While this thing is ongoing, I'm actually going to use the sub ability so it starts counting down. And then by the time it's done, it's gonna launch the rockets. We do have the ace ability. You can't see anything. I know, I can't see anything here. I'm just looking at these abilities and I hope that the damage is enough. This guy's like halfway out. What is happening? We have all paragons. We're not gonna lose, are we? No way we're gonna lose this thing, right? These guys are attacking. This is the last one, but he's halfway out, guys. What is even happening? I'm gonna use the wizard ability, which does a little bit of DPS, by the way. And we actually do beat it. Look at where we beat it, though. It was out. I can't believe every single paragon, degree 50 or 60, actually didn't destroy this thing immediately. And to be honest, they kind of destroyed it. I mean, it's round 121, so they only took one round to beat it, but because the map is so short, you actually do need as much damage as possible. There's a little bit of a visual bug, by the way. You guys see my cursor and how there's a little bit of light following it. And yes, that's gonna be it for this one. I really do want to try this legitimately with another boss, probably Vortex actually, because he's probably the easiest one, because I know that one's possible for sure. But yeah, for now, that's gonna be it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next one. So this is a video that I've been postponing for a while now. I kind of got it started actually because these early rounds are usually not the most interesting ones. But what we're doing today is we're gonna try and beat Chimstone by only using towers that have 3 letters. Now, I singled out all of these towers that we can use, and it's basically, this guy, the IFR Heli. I also got rid of the other crosspaths because we're not allowed to use them. So it's basically that thing is the Mad and is the pin from the NG, and obviously Psy. Okay, so I was kind of thinking about using Etienne. Not because Etienne has a lot more letters than that, but I was actually thinking of using Etienne, the skin, which, I don't know, would that be cheating? I mean, kinda, right? So this setup is actually running into its first problem, which is lead balloons. So, the Darling can pop lead balloons, but it's gonna take a while until it gets there. So our next choice is to use Psy. Now the problem with Psy is that they need level 6, and we do not have level 6 Psy, so I was saving a lot of money for that to upgrade them. So let's do it like that, and now I think we're gonna be fine versus these lead balloons. So is this thing possible? I kind of, gave it a thought, because if you take a look at all these towers, they're very weak, especially into, let me buy the pin just to kind of stop these balloons. So these are basically like the early game towers. I mean, what are the IFR Heli and the pin NG gonna do? I mean, maybe the pin NG is gonna help in these early rounds. The IFR Heli is gonna be useful versus what? Like the camel purples? If we can pop those with the millipede Darling. And let me just buy this thing. Let's just start upgrading the millipede just to get some camel detection damage going. If you take a look at our setup, well, our towers are not exactly that well equipped versus super ceramics. So Psy is going to be able to eliminate, these balloons, is going to make them disappear. But other than that, we do not have any super ceramic damage. The Mad is going to destroy the Moab class balloons, but not the insides. It's actually especially weak versus the insides of these super ramped up Moab class balloons later on. So that's one of the problems that I was kind of thinking of. And hold on, am I buying something else? Like, I'm really trying to save up money for the Hydra Rocket Ponds, but they seem to be kind of expensive. So let me try and micro this Darling like all over the place. And yeah, we got that one. The pin is going to do some work onto this round because there's these huge rushes. But I feel like we might have to use the ability. I'm going to use the ability for the last wave, and I think we should not need it for the... Actually, you know what? I'm going to try and save it. Is that a good idea? No, it's not. Let me use the ability. Let me just use it. Oh, no. Please. Size and strong. I don't think we have this. I think we're going to league this. And, oh, you know what? Maybe if we don't beat it now, then maybe I'm going to upgrade Psy to... Maybe, you know what we should do? We should probably upgrade... Oh, never mind. I think we have this. Do we? Yeah, we do. Yeah, okay. Nice. That was very close. So I was thinking of actually upgrading Psy to level 7 because it was super cheap, but it doesn't matter. We got this thing. So 5.5k, we're going to get this thing. And I guess the next problem is going to be just Moab class damage. That's why I kind of skipped these early rounds, and I didn't want to show them to you guys because there's not that many things happening. Okay, let's get Psy on strong now. We need someone to deal with these lead balloons, but at the same time, oh my god, these Hydra Rocket Pods. I'm so glad I didn't buy anything else, because this is, yeah, just on time. Oh my god, that's right on the money. Yeah, okay, so let's stun this guy now. And we do not have a problem versus ceramics because Psy is going to get 3 of them. And then I'm going to move the Darling away. So as soon as this thing pops, I'm going to move the Darling away. And I want to let Psy deal with all the ceramics. Is that going to be... Are they going to have enough time to deal with them? Darling away, and yes, just like that. Okay, perfect, there we go. You guys know how I came up with this challenge? I wanted to do 4-letter upgrades, but then I realized that there are, or at least maybe I miscounted, but I don't think that there are that many 4-letter upgrades in general. Like, the first one that I could think of was the Orca of the Beast Handler, and then What else? I mean, we call these towers by their shortened names, and this goes for the 3 letters as well. Like, for example, we call the ice, you know, just the ice, but in reality it's called the ice monkey, right? And we call the ace, you know, just the ace, but it's like the ace monkey. And I thought about, you know, kind of using them, but then, you know, maybe not the ace, but the ice would have been an amazing choice. Maybe just even like a base ice just to kind of hold these ceramics in the late game. But I figured that would be a little bit cheating, so I did not want to do that. So that's why we're stuck with these guys. And I am not sure if this is possible. Maybe if we had the ice, it would have been a lot easier. But with these guys only, I'm not sure. So let me get the Rocket Storm. At least we get an ability to play with. So we're still lacking a lot of Moab class damage, but because Sai is getting stronger, I mean, these abilities, they're going to start appearing. They're going to start doing... I feel like a lot of the money is going to need to be spent onto... Oh, we're going to need to use the ability as soon as... Oh my god, let's use the second one as well. Okay, is this thing even going to be... I mean, we are clearing the ceramics, I think. Sai's not strong. Oh yeah, we might need to buy the level... What was it? Level... Let me just check. Level 9 upgrade, Split the Mind. So that's going to be a super useful one. Okay, it's a super expensive one. It's 8.9k, so I really hope we don't have to do that. It's going to be 1 ceramic, so it's going to be the Darkling versus 1 ceramic. Is it going to win? Yes, it won. Okay, good, good, good. The mat is already expensive enough. It's like 65,000. But you can see that the problem that these guys are having, that the 3-letter upgrades are having, is just that they don't have any Moab class doing damage. I mean, we could probably buy... Would that be cheating, guys? Let me ask you. Would that be cheating if I bought another Rocket Storm Darkling? Because that guy's obviously not going to make it to the mat, and it's kind of going to break the rules, but at the same time, it's within the crosspad that we want to use, so I'm not sure. You know what I am sure though? We're gonna need to use the ability. You can really tell that these guys just straight up suck versus Moab class balloons. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the ability as soon as possible. So let's stun all 3 of these guys, and I'm gonna dump the abilities as soon as possible. And then I'm gonna try and not pop one of the Moab. So let's move it away. No, please don't pop. Oh no, it popped. Oh my god. I wanted to not pop that one just so we buy time. But it is not looking like we're gonna buy time. So 54 is gonna be a pain of a round, it looks like. Let's see how we're doing. So 1.7k for Split the Mind. I feel like we can buy that thing, no? You know what? I seem to have underestimated Sai and their ability to just deal with these ceramics, I feel like. Let's pop this thing. We're gonna need an ability for sure, though. What am I using? I think I'm using the Rocket Storm because this mob was not popping. Okay, and we're gonna have the Rocket Storm for one of these waves. So did we get... Yeah, we got... Okay, so it's level 9. That means that we're doing a lot better. So Sai's basically doing double damage at this point, so I'm really happy about that one. It's gonna make the 50s a little bit easier, especially rounds like these ones that are upcoming, right? Like 57 with a bunch of mobs and ceramics, and then 58 as well. I think though 58 is going to be a little bit easier because the only thing that we're going to have to do is just micro the Darkling. So it's going to be just microing and walking along the line of this Moab, and then the Moab pops. Sai's going to take care of the ceramics, hopefully. Oh, Sai's not taking care of the ceramics. We are... this is going to be 5 mobs in total, I think. Oh yeah, we need to start and use both abilities right now because these guys are... Maybe, you know what, maybe here's what I'm going to do. So let's try and pop this guy and then delay the popping of the last one so we get the abilities back. Although I say that, I keep saying we're going to delay the popping, but it's not like we have any control on how fast it's going to pop. It's just, like, we just need to get the damage going. I'm kind of surprised that we're making it this far because if you take a look at our setup, it's like a useless tower in the NG and it's like a 4th tier that's not cross-padded and hero. So I don't know, guys. Let's try and focus this thing down. Oh, this is going to be around... yeah, we're going to restart this one for sure because I kind of forgot that there are these 45 mobs at the back and we're definitely going to need the Rocket Storm for those guys. I would say it's close, but it's not looking like it's close. So I'm going to need this thing to pop right now. Oh no. Okay, so I pretty much did the exact same thing, but I clicked the abilities a lot earlier this time so that we get them off cooldown a little bit earlier, and it seems to have worked. There we go. Okay, so let's not mess this thing up. So I want to have the Darkling not pop these ceramics because Sai is not strong. And I think that if we only use the stun ability, no, that's not going to work. Oh, you know what? Let's buy this. Let's buy the level 10 and see how this thing is going to go. So if we can get the level 10 ability off cooldown, maybe we get rid of one wave and then... I don't know, like, this thing needs to come off cooldown in order for this to work in the first place, so I think it is. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be super close. Yes, nice. And we got a little bit of the second wave. That's amazing. So maybe, you know what? So I want to save the Rocket Storm for 64 because it's gonna be just Moabs. So let's try and beat 63. This is gonna be only one wave left. And I want to beat it using only the stun. So let's use the stun as soon as possible so it comes off cooldown. So there seem to be no more ceramics left. And yeah, we have this. We absolutely have this. Oh my god. So that was so good. Upgrading Sai to level 10 was probably the best choice that I've made. Okay, so let's see how we do versus these guys. Again, more fortified BFBs, which are Did I say BFBs? I meant 45 Moabs. These guys are an absolute menace for us. And we're not popping them, especially not the last one. So maybe we're going to be able to stun the last one and then have the Rocket Storm come off cooldown, but that is not looking like. I mean, let me try to use the Rocket Storm and see if we can get some of these guys to pop. So as long as it pops, it's going to be fine. You know what? I might have this. Yes, I used the level 10. I used the level 10 to get the last one, but it was worth it. It was 100% worth it. We can't use the level 10 ability on this one because if you guys know how that thing works, the ability only affects balloons that Psy is able to pop. So because Psy cannot pop Moab class balloons yet, at least not just these even Moabs, the small ones, that means the ability doesn't affect them. So we need to take care of the Moab class balloons first, and then we use the level 10 ability, which is a little bit complicated, but I think we should be able to. Okay, so let's pop these guys. I don't want to use the level 10, but I had to do that. But this means that we're not gonna beat it, right? Alright, so let's use these abilities as soon as possible so we can use them twice in the same round. So let's do it like this. Let's get rid of all of these guys, and then it's just gonna be the 45 ones. And then hopefully the Rocket Storm comes off cooldown, and then we can finish it off with the level 10. So we're gonna have the stun in a second. That is perfect timing. Look at that, just as they're approaching size. So let's use the ability. I'm gonna have the Rocket Storm as well. I just want to distribute the damage evenly. So let's do it. That's number one. We don't even need the level 10, it looks like, if the Rocket Storm holds on. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, so a lot of mobs. Let's stun them all. Am I using the Rocket Storm? Is this everything? Because if a BFB appears, I don't want to use the Rocket Storm because that's going to be bad. So let's try and pop them like this. And hopefully that's enough. I do not want to be using any of the abilities, but it's looking like we might have to. So let's leave those 3 Moabs. It's 4 actually. And let's kind of distribute the damage between everything, and let's pop them. Yeah, just like that. That's perfect. You want to pop them one by one. That's exactly how we want to play this. And is this going to pop? Yeah, it is. So let's try and focus down these 45 Moabs with our Rocket Storm. It's going to be 3 of them. So let's do it like this. So the first one is getting damaged. The second one is getting super damaged. And then the third one hopefully gets damaged by this. Yes, okay, so let's focus them down now, one by one. I'm gonna need this thing to pop as soon as possible, and the last one is on its last layer as well. This thing is not popping. I'm gonna need a stun, by the way. Oh my god, pop! Yes! Oh my god, that's so close! That's before the exit. Now you. Nice. Okay, so maybe we have a shot at this, actually. Am I just dumping all of the abilities onto these BFBs and then just hope everything pops into Moabs, and then when we get them down to... I'm not sure about that one. So maybe because they're slow, maybe we can get away with something like that, like maybe using a couple of abilities onto them. So let's stun them, like, right now. I'm gonna need all these guys to pop, like, right now. The Moabs, I mean. Please. Yes, one more. Okay, so we might have this. The stun isn't going to do anything, but I'm going to need the Rocket Storm and the level 10 for this one. But if I use the level 10, then that means that we're not beating the next round, right? I mean, is there any other way to beat this? I don't think so. Let's just use it and let's see what happens. That's extremely close, but it is what it is. It is what it is, guys. I think we had to do it. So let's not target these guys with the rocket, because we're not getting any abilities up. So I feel like it's not going to happen unless we get an ability up. Yeah, this is probably the end of the run, is it? So here's what I'm going to do. Let's buy a Rocket Storm like this, and let's target both of these guys away. Actually, you know what? Maybe don't log them in place. And then on their way back, I think we just focus down these guys. And then now use the ability, and that is looking, oh my god, that's so much better. I can't believe that worked, because we kind of intercepted them, right? We didn't allow them to regrow, but this is gonna set the mat so far back. That's gonna be insane. On the other hand, like, we have 2 abilities now to play with, but these abilities are just whack. And this whole tower, the rocket pods, are just super bad versus more class balloons. But you know what? It is what it is. We're gonna have to play it like this, guys. What am I doing? Am I stunning them now? So let's stun them right now. I feel like we can be very, very loose with the abilities now, because the ZOMG it's only going to be a ZOMG around 80, and it's super slow. So we're going to have the abilities up off cooldown anyways. So let's see. That's going to be 1 Rocket Storm. Where's the second one? The second one is halfway there. Maybe like 60% of the way there. So let's not pop them immediately. So let's do it like this. Let's pop the first one now. The second one is actually a little bit closer to popping, so let's make sure we don't pop the second one. Let's pop them one by one, and let's use 1 Rocket Storm for this one. That should be fine. And then the second Rocket Storm for this one. So as soon as it pops to Moabs, I'm going to use the ability, do it like that, And that is absolutely perfect. Oh my god. So we kind of saved this run. It looks like 63.4k. As soon as this thing pops, and I guess in the 80s, it's when we're gonna get the mat, and that's when the real challenge starts. So I think I think we have this. I'm gonna use the level 10 for this one. That's way too many balloons. Do we need the level 3? I don't think so. Yeah, we don't. And it's how much we have? 64.8. So that is right on the money. And bam, round 81, we get the mat. You guys would not believe how annoying these past few rounds have been, and it's only round 86. Well, it's not like only round because there's not that many rounds left over, but oh my god. So look at this one, for example. I have to use the mat ability because that's way too many ceramics, and even it is struggling a little bit. So this is a good one. Okay, so look at this. We got level 14, which means that we can now target mobs with size. So, okay, so targeting of mobs is not exactly doing that well. I have to be honest, but now we get a superpower spike, which is basically the fact that when I use the level 10 ability, it's gonna affect mob class as well. You know what? I'm gonna try and pop everything as much as possible, and I'm gonna use the level 10. Things are kind of getting near the entrance, so let's use it now. And you guys see that the mobs are being held as well. Let me just drop all of these abilities towards the end, because this is the problem with the level 10. It doesn't get everything on the map. Like, it gets like half of them get stunned and then half of them get pushed back, so it's not a guarantee that we're gonna do that. But the fact that we can pop mobs now is super effective. So let's yeah, there we go. Let me check size levels. So it's 15 is this thing, and then 16 is BFBs. And then we need 17 as well. Split the Mind is an amazing one as well. Oh my god, so after a solid, I don't know, like 10 minutes in this round, I finally beat 91. It was just a bunch of 45 ceramics, as you guys saw at the end, I guess, but it's ceramics and then it's BFBs, and there's absolutely no ceramic damage, which is basically the problem that I kind of foresaw that this was going to be happening, but I did not think it was going to be this miserable. This is bad. This is not good. I'm not sure how this entire run is going to go just because of these small balloons. So I bought one more Dalding. I'm not sure if you guys were... Oh my god, that's the wrong ability, by the way. I bought one more Dalding. I'm not sure if you guys... If I shocked over that thing, if I showed that thing, but there's one more Dalding on the side, and hopefully that is going to be enough. Like, it's not going to be enough money for Sai, for sure, to get upgraded to that much. Well, let me check the levels. It's 15. Okay, so 16 is going to be an important one. Let's use the... do I want to use the stun? Look at these guys. Look at the ceramics in the back. Oh my god. So we have to be popping them super slowly. So just like that. And now hopefully those mob class balloons. Yeah, there we go. That's one mob that's getting popped. That's the second one. Now hopefully, I mean, I'm going well. Okay, let's just dump all the abilities. Like, this is something I don't want to be doing, like dumping all the abilities, because they create such a big mess like that. And if the small balloons, if the ceramics survive that mess, like this guy here at the back, that's it. And that's what's been happening to me basically on round 91 for a very long time. Alright, so here's the plan for this one. I'm going to use the small rocket storms to take care of the small BFBs that are beneath them. So let's use one more, and then when this huge wave of ZMG comes next to the mat, I'm going to stun it, and I'm going to use the level 3 ability. So let's do it now. Stun, and then use this thing, and hopefully this pops all of them so that I can use the level 10 just like that, and that should be... And now it's just gonna be the small balloons. It's just gonna be a huge rush of ceramics. I'm gonna have a rocket storm in a second. Is this gonna be enough? I hope it is, because we have nothing else except for this one, and it's looking like... yeah, it's looking like it is. Nice. Okay, so that's 94. 95 is gonna be a bunch of DDTs, which I do not think is gonna be that much of a problem, because all the abilities are gonna come off cooldown. But let's see how we do on this one. So let me just... You know what? I'm just gonna dump all these rocket storms, and I'm gonna try and save the mat ability because it's a lot stronger. And I'm really trying to save the level 10, but it's not looking good. So it's either gonna be the level 10 or the... I'm gonna use the mat ability. I kind of value the level 10 ability a lot more than the mat one. Okay, so if 94 was a little annoying, let's see how we do on this one. This might be the round in which I buy this thing, the level 16. But let's try and see how we can do without it. So I'm going to dump all of these abilities as soon as possible so we get them off cooldown. And maybe we can get to use this out of them. And maybe kind of, you know, if we beat this round, this is going to be a nice training for, for 98. Because 98 is probably going to be the most annoying round out of all of them, I'm going to be honest. So let's get the level... I was going to say the level 10, but that's... Oh my god. Alright, so here's the plan. Focus down these 45 mobs like this. There's more incoming. Oh my god. So let's try and pop these ceramics like this. And then I want to pop all the 45 mobs and then use the level 10 ability. So I think this is... I'm going to try and wait this one. Nope, have to use it now. And then use the mat ability. Oh my god. The end of the track is so annoying. Oh, there's so many balloons in there. I think this is looking like the best one out of all of them. I think we just need a little bit of strategy, guys. Okay, so we popped everything. Oh my god, that was so easier than usual. Okay, so let's not mess this thing up. This is very easy to get messed up. So, oh my god, this mat is popping them, isn't he? Yeah, the mat's popping them. So let's try and not break these guys into ceramic. So I'm gonna have all of these darlings target at the back, and let Sai do all the work. So focus on these Moabs, and now there are no Moabs, no balloons for it to pop. So pop one of these, there we go, just one of them, and then let Sai take care of everything, just like that. Just take it slow. We're in absolutely no. I think I popped more than one. It looks like I popped a couple of ZMGs actually, and I think we don't care about 97 because all of our abilities are going to come off cooldown. So you know what? It might be time to pop all of these guys. Yeah, I feel like it is. So let's do it like this. Let's use all of our abilities and then do it like that. Target everything at the back. I'm even going to use the stun because 97 is just going to be an easy round. And hopefully no ceramics leak. And this was such an annoying round. Oh my god. Okay, so let's not pop these guys now. Let's wait for the abilities to come off cooldown. That's going to be one group and then the last one. And that was a very methodical pop. But the thing is, it's very easy to pull off when, yeah, when basically you have only 2 ZMGs. So let's do it like this. Let's buy the split the mine thingy and I know, let's let Sai do all the work, guys. I wish I could move the mat a little bit behind because it's gonna start popping these guys now. So let's do it like this. Let's see what we can do. Let's use the level 10 ability. So ideally, we do not have any single balloon get popped by anyone else besides Sai. No, I jinxed it. There are Moabs. I absolutely jinxed it. Oh my god. Can we even save this? That was so beautiful. Please pop the Moabs. Please pop this one. I don't want to pop it with the rockets. I think I'm going to have to. Yes. Okay. So let's target the abilities at the bottom. Do I have this round? Is this going to be the cleanest 98? Because if we beat this round, I feel like we are very close to having this thing. I think I will. I'm going to dump everything onto these guys. So let's save it with the level 10 ability. So like this. You know what I'm doing? I'm doing the bully method. I'm just trying to pop everything as fast as possible. I'm going to use the level 10 ability now. Hopefully everything comes off cooldown. It's not looking good, by the way, with this one. So we have to do it methodically. Alright, so level 10 now. Rocket Storm. Clean everything out. We have the stun, so stun them. Why not? I mean, I don't even know what's happening. Well, I kind of do, but it's not looking good. Let's use a... Oh my god, I panicked. Like, I said that I want to use a Rocket Storm, but I should not have used that ability. Because these guys, every ability is so important, it's insane. Okay, so let's try and get one more Rocket Storm. This is going to make a difference. We're $400 off of it. And let's try and do as much damage as possible to these guys. Make Sai's game a little bit easier, and that's not the tower that I wanted to select. Let's do it like that. Stun everything, like just do as much damage as possible to help Sai out, and have just another ability to maneuver for these last few rounds. So I'm going to use the mat ability as well, which is probably not a good idea, but I think, well, it's going to be time for the level 10 soon, so let's use it now. And then I'm just going to need these guys to hold on. Sai is the key for this one. Okay, so here's what I did. I upgraded the level 17, and here's the plan for this one. I'm gonna let Sai take care of these 45 balloons by themselves, and then here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the stun ability, so keep these guys in place. Use the level 10 ability like now when everything is out, and then hopefully Sai takes care of these 45 BFBs, because when these guys pop, there's a significant amount of RB less on screen. So I'm gonna just keep using the stun to keep these guys in place for as much as possible, and then the level 10 ability is gonna come off cooldown twice. So this entire time I've been playing as if we only have one level 10 ability, but that's not true. We have 2 of them. So this might change things up a bit. So now I'm gonna try and pop these ZUMGs, and then when we pop the ZUMGs, we can just use the level 10 ability again. And then we can, I'm going to buy one more Rocket Storm, and then we can just defend the backline like we used to do, hopefully, right? So let's use the mat ability, let's stun everything in place. And then it's just these ceramic blues. And it's just these guys, which side's going to take care of it? That was the easiest one? What? How did I not do this? That's just such an obvious solution to this level, this round, which I have no idea how I did not try that thing earlier. Just try and use 2 abilities. Just try and that's the thing that I tried doing it at first, I think, which is just let Sai do the... I think we're going to have to restart this one, but... Alright, so let's try and pop these EVs now. Pop all of them, and then the Rocket Storms to focus down the leftovers. And hopefully this is enough. We're going to have another Rocket Storm. We gave it our all on the previous round, so this should be... Yes, there it is. Oh my god, that that was a run and a half, guys. I'm gonna tell you that much. I mean, this thing has been going on for just an extraordinarily long amount of time, and I don't think that I've played anything more difficult in like these past couple of weeks. I would say that was just such an interesting and such a fun challenge. Like this little hero, they just took care of the entire thing by themselves. And it was just smart ability usage, and that's basically what it was. But that was a run and a half, and I'm super glad that I did this one. That was such a fun one, and we got it. The 3-letter challenge. It's done. It's done, guys. It's over. So that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Today we're gonna take a new approach to Bloons TD6, and we're gonna try and win using only medieval towers. Now in BTD6 there are no specific medieval type of towers, because I guess the technology that these monkeys have is actually kind of advanced in some cases, but there are some certain upgrades on towers that are corresponding to medieval technology. So for example, I used Quincy as the hero, and I also thought because he uses a bow and arrows, and I think that Solid is gonna work here as well. From the Dark Monkey, we do have the top and the bottom crossbow. We have the Juggernaut and the crossbow, which I'm pretty sure that people had these things back in the day. For the Bombsure, we're only going to use the top crossbow because I don't think that they necessarily had these clusters. They definitely didn't have the missiles, so I think that this is kind of fine. And then from the boats, we do have the Pirate Lord ship, which is basically just a ship with cannons mounted on it. And I also kept the Merchantman because this guy looks like he might have, I guess, existed, but we're playing Chimps mode, so he's not gonna do anything. We do have the Ninja, but the Ninja is only a 002 because they did have Caltrops back in the day. And finally, we do have the Village, and it's only the top and the bottom path on the Village, but the bottom path is not going to do anything because it's Chimps mode. But look at the top path, the primary expertise. We have a ballista attack that this thing gets, and they did actually have ballistas. So with these towers, can we win on Chimps mode? So let's start with Quincy. I'm gonna have Quincy like this, and yeah, let's see if this thing is even possible. I mean, we're definitely going back in time with this video. We're gonna see if this old technology is gonna be good enough to beat Chimps mode. I think it is. And then for the map choice, I just went with Park Path because I don't think that we necessarily have like a medieval type of map that we can probably beat with these towers, so I just went with something that has like grass and I don't know, river, something that I guess would have existed before humans came in and, you know, started polluting and destroying everything. So I think that this is gonna be fine. So I've had the idea for this thing for a while actually. I think I got it from a Battles 2 update poster or something like that. I remember just seeing the image and it had like some medieval towers, and I was like, wait, maybe we can do this thing in BTD6. It's probably gonna be fun. And I just did not have the I just haven't done it. I mean, I guess I was occupied with some other stuff, and I finally got the time to do it. So let me just use the level 3 ability, by the way, because we do have some pinks and we have to deal with the pinks right now. There we go. And so how do we want to approach these next 2 rounds? So we're gonna need some lead popping power. And I'm just thinking, what do we want to do? I mean, maybe let's give ourselves another condition, and that is that we have to buy at least one of each tower. So maybe we're not gonna upgrade it fully, but we just have to buy one of each tower. And I'm thinking, is this gonna be the spot? I think this should be the spot, right? So I guess they did have grapes. I'm not sure they used grapes in medieval times. I'm not sure they used grapes in medieval times as weapons, but you know what? I'm pretty sure they had grapes. So let's just buy these guys, and then we're gonna get to the cannon ship, which is something that they definitely did have. But how do we want to upgrade them is my question. So maybe we want to start with something like the. Let me just, you know what? I don't think buying the village is a good idea, honestly, because we can deal with camels and everything like that. I just want to see if the boat is in range. There was this like. There's just like a one spot in which you can place the village right here, and I don't seem to be able to find it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so we do have the boat in range. Oh, actually, I could have placed it a little bit maybe lower with the bigger radius upgrade. So, but yeah, that's completely fine. Okay, so we do have the village spot, and you know what? I'm just gonna buy it just to kind of mark the spot because I'm probably gonna struggle finding it later on. So let's just have this thing like this. So what do we want to do? So we're gonna have the Moab in a second. So I'm just gonna go like this. Oh, how are we doing with the camels? We're doing fine, actually. I'm gonna buy 230. And then I feel like these guys should defend the next few rounds by themselves. So I'm just going to keep upgrading the village, by the way. So let's get the primary mentoring. I don't think that this is anything out of the ordinary so far. I think we're doing fine. And maybe, you know what, I should probably just give camo attention to this boat. We do have camo onto Quincy and the Sharpshooter, but you know what, let me just buy it for now and let's just chill. So the Moab is incoming in a second. I do think that we have the damage, especially with the Sharpshooter. If you guys have not used this tower, this is an amazing tower, especially with the crits. It crits every few hits, but the crits are super strong. And it also, you know, in comparison to the basic crossbow, it It gets extra damage, it gets extra attack speed. What else? I think it gained like one more thing, maybe a little bit of pierce, but I might be wrong on that thing. But yeah, it's super strong in comparison to a crossbow. It's very worth it getting it actually. But let me buy the primary mentoring now, and then it's 27,000 for the ballista. And then also we're gonna make, you know, these the crossbow master and I guess the ultra juggernaut. If we're buying it, we're gonna make that thing stronger. And oh, round 43, we have the first ceramics. If we get a good crit onto the sharpshooter, I mean, things should go well, honestly. And you know what? I was also thinking of going for Sala as the hero, but Sala might be a little bit too strong, right? I mean, she is... Oh, wait a minute. Let's see how we do. Yeah, that was just a 45 ceramics, but as long as this guy crits onto a ceramic, that ceramic is going to get one shot, but the problem is this, when we get more of... when we basically get a lot of balloons, so we might be able to... Yeah, we dealt with this one. Let me actually just check if Quincy is... No, Quincy's not in range of the village. Okay, that would have been actually really nice. But as you guys can see, I blocked in the MIB because that looks like a corporate building to me. So yeah, but it would have been nice for Quincy because Quincy cannot pop DDs and stuff like that. So DDs are definitely going to be our #1 issue, I feel like. Yeah, so these rounds with a lot of balloons are basically where our setup struggles. So let's just see how we do versus these guys. We do have the level 3 ability. I hope I don't have to use it, but I think I might if they make it Oh, they almost made it the other way. I used the ability anyways, but maybe I should not have done that. Maybe we would need it for 50. 50 is going to have a bunch of Moabs and ceramics, but I think we cleared these guys out. There's no regrowth farm, right? Nope, that's completely fine. Okay, so we're about $10,000 off of the primary expertise. And after we buy that thing is going to be one-shotting a lot of these balloons. I don't think we're even going to have to worry about anything after we buy it. But I do want to get the primary expertise first because it's probably going to be fun, right? 54 should be a more of a difficult round. We do have the level 3 ability from Quincy, but as long as we get some... So look at this thing. The boat is actually in a very nice spot because it attacks from both sides. So we're getting so much value out of this thing. It's actually insane. I think that it might be single-handedly carrying this. And yes, look at that. As long as we get a crit from the Dark Monkey, that thing is also doing a lot of work as well. Okay, so let me just buy some of the other stuff that we wanted to buy. So let's just buy one cat job just because we said we want to do it. We want to buy one of each of these towers. So let me just do that. And then how do we want to play this with the bomb? We do have some of these free upgrades, so let me just go like this just so we have them. And honestly, the AoE might actually, you know what, it's round 55, so the AoE might even be nice in some of these cases. Let me just get it like this because I don't want to get the stun, at least not yet. And that's a very bad spawn for the bomb now that I think about this, but you know what, we bought it. Okay, and we do have the money for the primary expertise, so let me buy it. Look at this thing go. Look at this ballista go. Does this count as high tech is my question. I mean, they did have, you know, kind of this... They did have the slingshot technology, but I'm not sure if they had the homing slingshot technology. Is that a little bit too much? I feel like this is like 50-50. I mean, look at this thing. This is a castle. Look at this tower. It's straight up a castle. They did have these things, right? This is fair to have. You know what's an idea that I also had? I think I've seen this somewhere else, but I can't remember where. But maybe we should try something like 2 mega pops on the primary expertise because I think it's actually possible. The only thing that you need to do is you need to just survive a little bit longer, and yeah, I think this is actually a possible thing. And look at this thing. Look at the Mega Ballista attack. Did they have this thing, guys? I don't know. I feel like this might be a little bit too strong for our guys. I mean, you know what? I think that they're defending now, but they might have an issue, you know, come late game and the DDs and stuff like that. So, yeah. And just checking with you guys, we're gonna buy the second tier 5, medieval tier 5, I guess, which is gonna be a crossbow master. And look at this guy. This guy's like a combination. When you take a look at the portrait, it's like a combination of a ninja and maybe... I don't know, I mean, a ninja wielding a crossbow, but I know for a fact that they did have these things, so yeah, I have no problem buying this thing, I guess. But the next one is going to be the pirates, the monkey pirates into the pirate lord, and that's it, guys. That we cannot buy anything else. So this late game, and actually when free play starts, it's gonna get quite interesting, I think. And here it is. After we pop this UMG, this is where the fun is going to start for ourselves. We're actually kind of getting close to the pirate lord as well, and let's play a game actually. Which one of these 3 tier 5s that we have on screen do you guys think is going to have the most amount of pops when we end the game? So far the primary expertise and the crossbow master have a little bit of an advantage over the pirate lord. But keep in mind, the pirate lord can hook balloons, and these balloons, let me just buy it by the way, the pirate lord can hook these blimps, and it's going to be taking in a lot. It has the most damage out of all of them, so it's going to be taking a lot of pops. So let's just actually use this ability. And I don't know, what do you guys think? Which is going to have the most amount of pops? But the setup is finally complete. And this is the medieval towers that we have. And that's about it. And round 89. So let me just hook these guys. We're going to have just 2 BFBs left. And oh, wait a minute. I might have made a mistake. Oh no, there are DDTs. We cannot hook the DDTs now. Okay, but this is going to give us a good gauge of how much damage we're doing versus them. And oh, wait a minute, these guys, so this is where the third one popped. Yeah, this is exactly the problem that I thought that we we're gonna have. Oh no, these guys suck versus DDTs, the medieval towers. I guess the DDT technology is a little bit too advanced for them to deal with it. Oh my god, wait a minute, what are we gonna do versus 45 DDTs as well? I mean, I guess unless we make it to the Balloon Crush or something like that, or do we even want to go for the Balloon Crush is my question. So let's actually just start hooking these guys, and let's make sure that we save the... I guess we could buy a couple more Marquee Pirates, right? But that's only gonna hook like one DDT at a time, so I'm not sure if that's even a good, you know, a good money spent in general. So let's hook that guy. We're gonna have DDTs, and oh my god, I can't believe this. I used the hook again. I just saw ZMG and I just used the hook again, but I think we can deal with these guys because it's not that many of them. But they are making it around. Oh no, 95 is gonna be a nightmare, isn't it? Okay, let me just... Let's hook these guys, so let me actually make sure that we do have these abilities for 95. I mean, you know what? Even if we wanted to get the Balloon Crush, we're just not gonna have the money because this thing is 3.5. The Balloon Impact is 3,500, and then the Balloon Crush is 60,000 by itself. So we are 20,000. We're actually over $20,000 off. But you know what? We can actually use the hook now because 95 doesn't start immediately. So we're gonna have the time to have this ability recharge, and I think that this is probably gonna be one of the most difficult rounds in the entire run. So we can buy, you know what, it's $500. I'm actually going to buy Quincy's level 19. Should I buy the level 20? I don't think I will, actually. That's a lot of money. So let's just see how we do, and then we need to save up a little bit of cash so we can adjust to whatever happens. So here come the DDTs, and we can do some targeting changes, actually. Let me just use the ability and hook some of these guys. Are we going to be able to get 2 abilities off? I hope so. I mean, I'm just going to use Quincy's level 10, which doesn't do anything, by the way, to, not the level 10, but the level 3 ability, which doesn't do anything to DDTs. But I guess it's going to help out a little bit with the Moabs, and we seem to be, oh my god, we seem to be dealing with this thing. Okay, never mind. The medieval technology was barely enough to deal with DDTs. That's completely fine. So I guess the next challenge is going to be 45 ones. So here's what we can do for this round. I can hook these guys, and then how are we doing with the money for the Balloon Crush? I don't like this spot, honestly. This is like... I don't like this spot, but you know what? I just bought it here, so I'm just gonna get the Balloon Impact now, and we're gonna go for the Balloon Crush. We're missing about 10,000. It's actually closer to $7,000 for this thing. And let me hook these guys, and yeah, so during round 98, we should have it ready to go. Okay, but on second thought, they did have the cannon technology for sure, but were those cannons able to stun things? Because if we buy the Balloon Crush, it's gonna keep stunning, and he's gonna keep pushing balloons back, so... I don't know, I'm a little bit conflicted. Let me just use Quincy's level 3 ability, by the way, just so we do a lot of damage to these guys. I'm not sure if I want to use the level 10, honestly. I just want to chill for a second. So let's see how we do on this round. I mean, everything's on first, I think. We're going to have another hook ready to go. So we're going to hook a ZOMG, which is very important. These guys have the most RB out of everything. And what did we get? We got a ZOMG and 1 BFB. And I really think that we're fine on this round. Honestly, I mean, we hooked a decent amount of the RB on it. Quincy's level 20, so there's not, you know, there's nothing to buy there. And I don't know, maybe we get the Balloon Crush. Do we get the Balloon Crush? Let's just see if we can deal with the 45 DDTs like this. So we can hook 3 of these guys, which I'm actually going to do. And then can we pop the rest of them is my question. These guys seem to be very strong. I don't think we're popping them, guys. Nope, we're absolutely not popping them. Okay, so it was actually a great idea that we saved all of this money and we didn't spend it on things that we don't need, because now we can buy the Balloon Crush, and now this thing is going to keep these DDTs in place so that we can actually do some damage to them. Okay, that's very good, I think. Oh my god, so these medieval towers, they finally, you know, they found it in themselves, guys. They found the technology, it seems like. So let's see if we can deal with the bat. This is going to be the last challenge. I think they will, just because the map is long, honestly. I don't think that they necessarily might have the damage on these shorter maps, but just because this map is huge. Let me just use Quincy's level 10 ability for good measure, and as soon as this thing pops, I want to hook the DDTs, which I hope happens kind of fast, honestly. As soon as Quincy starts attacking, I'm just going to use the level 3 ability again. And let's hook the DDTs, and this should be fine because we do have the Balloon Crush on the other side. So if something makes it towards the Balloon Crush, it's just gonna get stunned. And yes, there we go. That is it. That is the medieval towers being chip smelt. You know, I thought that they were gonna win. I'm gonna be honest, but you know, how much were they gonna win? How were they gonna deal with DDTs was kind of my issue. But they seem to have dealt with it. So let's check the pops on all these guys. So 624,000 onto the Buccaneer, doing actually very respectably. 543, so this is not the one that has the most amount of pops, and 649. So look at the difference between these guys. 25,000 pops, even though we bought the Pirate Lord so much later than the Crossbow Master. But yeah, the Crossbow Master seems to have kind of, edged it out towards the end, I guess, with about 25,000 pops. And let's just check Quincy actually with 192,000 pops. Not that much, but he did his job at the early game, just helping us survive. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed this a little bit different video today, and I'm gonna see you guys very soon.